Hi, I'm Durval Bazi, host of the Climate Conscious podcast.
Climate change, as we know, will have a significant impact on Caribbean economies. Sea level rise, higher temperatures. We've seen for the last couple of years more extremes in terms of weather. So you have more floods and also more droughts, and then more extreme hurricanes as well. Now, the response to climate change is one of two things. You can either mitigate or you can adapt. Ideally, you should do both. We want a lot of our more developed countries to do a lot more mitigation because they're the ones that have been basically responsible for most of the carbon emissions.
Just a quick reminder that our Caribbean comprises countries described as small island developing states or SIDS, with a history of enslavement and colonization and high levels of poverty. They are currently highly indebted, with their most critical resources at risk from severe climate change impacts.
So when I think about sustainable development, I think about it as, creating pathways for incorporating our culture and traditions and making sure that those things are incorporated into all facets of society. I think about it as being responsive to people and the environment. And so not ignoring who we are as people, but also not ignoring the specialness of our natural resources. And because it understands the specialness of our natural resources, it means that we respect it a lot and we design it to make sure that it is for us and therefore by us and representative of us. So for me, especially as an environmentalist, I want it to include my critically endangered species like the Antiguan racer or the Barbuda warbler. I want it to feel like all the things that make up us. So parts of our carnival and our music. And I know that that doesn't normally sound like what sustainable development is kind of purported to be within the Caribbean, but I feel like if our development does not feel like us, it does not look like us, it doesn't sound like us, is it sustainable?
Sustainable development in the Caribbean for me requires some intentionality. By that, I mean by an investor's intention, a small business's intention, a consumer's intention to have a positive social and environmental impact through our choices.
Now, this is a long-term problem, highlighting the ways in which poverty and the real needs of young girls is exploited. You're exploiting the poverty status and you're exploiting their real needs. The girl becomes an income-generating asset for the family. She's almost a commodity. Some families turn a blind eye to the sexual exploitation. Some even encourage it. And other research tells us sometimes the mother encourages it because she went through a similar time in her adolescent years. And she will say to her daughter, I know nothing, it's just a little sex. You understand Jamaican dialect?
Caribbean economies really don't have a choice. We have to spend on investment in adaptation. But the good thing about spending on adaptation, it reduces the vulnerability of the economies, it reduces risk, and it also provides opportunities for growth and development. There are three key areas of adaptation that I think are really important. One, food security. Two, health. And three, renewable energy.
So in a way, Derval, everything is connected to everything. I think we just need to commit to doing the research using a gender lens. Whichever sector we choose to work on, whether it's in the economy or it's environment or it is justice, there are gender inequalities and inequities. And it's only if you put on a gender lens and work granular down to see how people are living their lives, will we better understand that situation. And then we know how to build back better.
When I started the show, the aim was to bring more people into the conversation around climate action and sustainable development. The objective has always been to unpack these big critical issues through a Caribbean lens, which often differs from a global north or a developed world perspective. Frankly, our lived experience is different.